And that's what brings me to this state visit. I think President Tinubu should be in Maiduguri now sympathizing with the people. Because there were times that he cut his trip, I think, to the G20 because of some insecurity situation he said he wanted to handle at home. I think this is the time to be there for the people. I said something this morning. I said if the roles were switched, if Keir Starmer had a triple bombing in the UK and was scheduled for a state visit and he went ahead, the opposition in Parliament, I know people like Kemi Badenoch would tear him apart. But you know, the supporters of the president will say, oh, he's good to have his day in the sun. This is not about support or being partisan. It's about having genuine love and empathizing with the people at a time like this.
In Nigeria, at least 23 persons were killed, while 146 others sustained injuries in the multiple explosions that rocked Maiduguri, Borno state capital, on Monday night. The blasts occurred at the entrance gate of University of Maiduguri Teaching Hospital, UMTH, Monday Market, and post office areas of the ancient city. Surajo Abdullahi, a zonal coordinator at NEMA, who confirmed figures to Daily Trust, said 169 victims had been evacuated to 3 hospitals in Maiduguri. Many residents said the city, once known for daily shootings and bombings, had witnessed relative peace for many years. The last major attack was 2021 when Boko Haram fighters fired mortars that killed at least 10 people in the city, followed by the suicide bomb attack at a mosque in Gambaru Market.
As regards Maiduguri, very sad one. Triple bombing. I thought at some point we were beginning to think that Maiduguri was already impervious, but it was attacked by this bombing. And that's what brings me to this state visit. I think President Tinubu should be in Maiduguri now sympathizing with the people. Because there were times that he cut his trip, I think, to the G20 because of some insecurity situation he said he wanted to handle at home. I think this is the time to be there for the people. I said something this morning. I said if the roles were switched, if Keir Starmer had a triple bombing in the UK and was scheduled for a state visit and he went ahead, the opposition in Parliament, I know people like Kemi Badenoch would tear him apart. But you know, the supporters of the president will say, oh, he's good to have his day in the sun. This is not about support or being partisan. It's about having genuine love and empathizing with the people at a time like this. So the state visit is going to jet out today. Go all the way. Conversations, you talk about trade. Yes, they say they're going to sign over £700 million agreements for the port in Apapa. They're going to sign a couple of other business deals and all of that, bilateral talk, cultural exchange and all of that. Yes, it's not surprising. The UK already is one of our biggest capital importation partners. More money comes to Nigeria from the UK than most other countries. So that symbiotic relationship is already there to a large extent. And in terms of the cultural symbolism, yes, the first time in 37 years and all of that, yes, the partisans can talk about the cultural symbolism and get excited and say, oh, it shows that Nigeria has been seen and all of that. But you see, for the partisans out there, I've got word for them. True validation only comes from your people. This idea of external validation at the expense of your suffering people, that's not how nations run. The true validation of Keir Starmer or Donald Trump and everything are not from leaders of other countries, are not from colonial masters, are from what your people say about you. And the question we should ask this government is, what are the people saying about them? What are they talking about the insecurity? What are we talking about the lack of infrastructure? Ayo, we didn't put the story in, but yesterday we had another train mishap. They said they were about coupling the trains and something happened. They had a loud bang. We've had one too many of such. What's the level of those infrastructure? Do the take-home pay of the people truly take them home? Are people truly saying their lives are a whole lot better, or they fight themselves over stipends of deep freezers and the likes? The greatest validation is what your people say about you. But you see, an average partisan that wants to score a political point will never understand these things. There's a difference between partisanship and nationhood are building a nation. Patriots build a nation, partisans don't.
For Maiduguri, 2 incidents yesterday. One around is it Monday Market? They call it.
Three of them: Post Office, UMT,
okay, and University of Maiduguri gate.
Yeah.
Again, this just shows us that the problem is not over. We still keep having this crisis. We praise the agencies, security agencies, when they do well, as we have done. And in yesterday's event, they said that there was a combined operation. Now, that combined operation, nobody wants to die. I don't think anybody should die in Nigeria. And it just means again the same thing we said yesterday, that government still needs to stay on this subject and provide security. I do not share the view that President Bola Ahmed Tinubu should have bought his trip to the United Kingdom. He said, those trips are usually planned ahead, and there's a lot of diplomatic back and forth, that is involved. So the trip should go ahead. The vice president is at home. The vice president can represent him. He arrives at Stansted Airport today. And if you look at the program of activities, they look like it's not just symbolism. It's not just history. It looks like that program is designed with benefits to Nigeria in mind. I don't know whether it was you or Rufai yesterday who was saying we should think of what will benefit from it. So the program is going to focus on trade, immigration, very important point. Now that the UK is talking a lot about immigration, and also other things, trade and all that. There's going to be an exhibition of things that the British have in the royal collection related to Nigeria. I think the Tinubu team should look out for anything that our people can say, well, you took this one from the Benin expedition. You took this one from the middle belt of Nigeria. Can we have repatriation of some of these assets? But that's on the lighter side. However, there's also the 746 million pounds between the UK and Nigeria over our ports. Yeah, but it's not just about Apapa Port and Tinkan Port. How do we develop the other ports in this country? Cocoa Port, Calabar Airport, there's a port in Onitsha, so that we can, decentralize, improve the draft of all these ports that we have, and decentralize trade focus in Nigeria. Those are the bigger questions. Now, finally, the delegation. The president is traveling with 10 ministers. I tried to count. Maybe I didn't count correctly.
That's quite exciting.
He's also going with the National Security Advisor, the DGNIA, NIA, Nigerian Intelligence Agency, Ambassador Mohammed. He's also part of that delegation. By the time you calculate the number of aides that will follow them, we could raise the question, is the president being faithful to his earlier directive that, delegations should be pruned? This one, well, maybe because of the importance the president attaches to it, I was tempted when I read the story to ask, who else is left in town?
That's a good question.
And half of those people that are going, I think they should keep an eye on them. They should not go to London to embark on a shopping jamboree. They are going there for work. And we expect measurable outcomes in terms of the agreements, the MOUs that are signed. Because the excitement over this London trip is like some people are going for shopping. We expect work, we expect results beyond the ceremony. The state banquet. Who would not like to have state banquet with
37 years
King Charles X after 37 years?
Yeah, and we don't know when next.